Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Turning Tuesday. My name is Phil Brown with JitCAD Cam. This week, we're going to go over a really quick and easy part here. However, we're going to need this part later for some on-machine kind of content on the shop floor. And I think you guys are going to really see the value of this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go and get over to my manufacturer workspace. As you guys can see, I'm already in. I've already section viewed this as well. So let's go ahead and create our setup. Based on our setup, as you can see, my XYZ came in very square. I am doing a mill turning machine. We're going to go ahead and adjust our stock size. In this case, I do need a machined edge on both the front and the back of this. So I'm actually going to bump this out to about 5 1/4 or 5 1/8. I apologize. But now we can go in and start to do our profiles. So normally you would do a turning face. And this is a neat trick, is I'm actually going to do a turning profile finish. And the reason for that is my part has this little chamfer on the outside. So I can actually start outside and wrap down to the middle as it was a facing cycle. So let's go ahead and pick our tool. So again, I'm going to go with just a standard, CNMT tool. We're going to go ahead and adjust to stock front. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and show you guys what we get at first. So what's happening right now is we're actually coming down to the center and back dragging. And as you can see, this is a very large bite for the relief on this tool. Now, if I want to go outside in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my passes tab, and we're actually going to say back to front. And now what you're going to see here when we simulate is we have that ability to start outside, hit that chamfer all in one clean path, and bring that down to center. So if you wanted to do this in multiple passes still, guys, you fully can. Now, keep in mind, the trick here is based on your passes, because this is a finishing kind of system. If I say 2 here, and I go ahead and hit OK, I'm only getting this little bit here because of stock recognition, right? So if I wanted 2 complete passes, a quick way to lie to the system is to get in here to your geometry tab and do an offset. So what I'm going to say is, let's say there's 0.1 additional stock. And let me go back and fix that one more time. So with that 0.1 offset, again, we are getting the confusion here because we do have the ability to get stock recognition. I'm also plugging in 0.1 in the completely wrong spot. So let's go back and change the offset to the stock front. And in this case, it's because we failed to put a 0 back where it belongs. And now you're seeing I'm getting those 2 passes right here. So as always, guys, even the best of us make fumbled mistakes and simple things happen to us. And this is, of course, a great time that when you guys do make those mistakes, feel free to put in a support ticket with the link down below. And I'm happy to jump on this to help you any way possible. So as you can see, we went ahead and faced our part. We put that chamfer on there because we are using a profile finish path. So let's do our actual drilling now to open up this inside bore. So I'm going to go ahead and say drill. Let's go ahead and select our tool. In this case, I'm going to use just a big 1-inch drill bit. My geometry is going to be this body or this face right here. As you can see, that's actually taking me all the way down. So it's going to plunge in here. And this is one of my favorite things, is this auto merge hole segment automatically builds that all the way back out for me, avoiding both that taper and that chamfer around the top of my part. So now we can jump over to our heights tab. We're going to go ahead and drill tip through bottom. Let's give it, like 50 thou breakthrough. Lastly, this is a pretty deep hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a chip breaking cycle. This is going to give me some pecs and then a full retract after a certain point. As you can see, we've now completed our drilling cycle. So let's get to boring the inside of this part out. So I'm going to go ahead and say turning profile rough. We're going to go over and we're going to pick our boring bar. And if you guys haven't seen me do this, if you've never taken any of my classes, just hit OK, guys. Don't try to change a bunch of stuff. You don't know how the software is going to react. And as you can see here, it's basically did what I wanted it to do, with the exception that we're actually wasting machining time drilling that center hole, right? So let's go back and just fix that one thing by turning on our rest machining. And again, hitting OK. So because this bore here is the same size diameter as our drill prior to, that rest machining is automatically picking up that this hole is open, right? So we only need to rough out this segment. Now, if we go ahead and check our actual errors here, as you're seeing, is my X clearance is trimmed at the clearance radius. This is not a big thing to worry about. The one to worry about is the toolpath does cross the rotary axis. So as you're seeing is we are starting based on center or our stock ID. So if I simulate this and we take a look at this, my tool comes in and then it goes out, then it goes into my part. We did luck out here. We have plenty of relief on this tool, but the big issue is you'll see this here in a second when we get to the finishing cycle, is we're going to go down and we're going to go ahead and do that bore. Good thing the clearance doesn't ever get back to the actual start, but once we go to retract out, again, we're going to cross that center line. So let's fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to my radii menu. And now my inner radius, I usually set this to a diameter, and then I plug in that pre-drill size. So I used a 1-inch drill. I plug in that 1-inch value. Now your clearance, this is up to you guys. Again, I like to change my clearance to reflect the inner radius settings. And then I tend to set mine to about 40 thou. So again, we're going to come off of that 40 thou from that 1-inch value. So as you're going to see here is we're going to go in now and we're starting no longer on center line. It actually cleared out both of my errors. Again, this is why I love Fusion and the offline programming that we can do to make sure we don't have those collisions. But now I'm actually saving cycle time because I'm just rapiding down to that location. So let's chase this out with a good old-fashioned profile finish. Again, I like to just hit OK, and this is going to be a really good example of where you're going to get in trouble with those radii settings, is if we simulate this, we're going to go down that profile. It's on our retract, as you're seeing, as I'm smashing the entire backside of that tool. So let's go back and fix that. Again, you guys could have did a derive if you didn't know. So if I go in and I say create drive, turning profile finish, we hit OK. And what I need to do is I need to delete the one before it. And the reason for that is because rest machining is on, but I just went ahead and hit Control G to regenerate. And now we're just finishing this slope. Again, we're not going to center line because we derived that. So if you guys want to see this a little more in depth, things like my geometry selections came through. So we turned on rest machining on roughing, as well as my radii options that I've placed inside here. So as you can see, very quick and easily, I went in, and I created this profile. I went ahead and cleaned everything up. Again, we're going to make more content on this at a later date where we're going to do some shop floor stuff. But the last thing I want to do to this actual part is, of course, create my second setup and go ahead and flip it over and just clean up that backside. So again, I like to turn on continuous rest machining. I now have the backside of my part. If there was a chamfer here, we could go model it. I'm just going to hit it with a facing cycle. And let's go ahead and grab that actual right-handed tool again. And just like that, I'm going to go ahead and face off that backside, cleaning up all that material. As always, guys, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I apologize for the short video this week. However, I think you're going to really love the content that we do later when we're actually on the shop floor and how we can actually use this part to speed up other operations in your shop. That said, have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.